since I've done this. In a world of ever-increasing prices, brand importance and influencers, some of the best watches are becoming ever more difficult to get. And even if you have the money, you might have to wait 6 years. All of this leaves a space in the market for watch manufacturers and consumers for homage watches. Whether it be a simple nod in regards to a reference, a colour, or even a watch size, all brands have and are doing it in one way or another. But how about when a brand goes to the extreme of styling their watch almost down to the exact of another? Is it acceptable or does it become an issue? That is for you to decide and not for me to tell you. Personally, I've owned homage watches since day one. It could even be said that my very first automatic watch, a 1970s Citizen Eagle 7, is in some way a homage to the Rolex Datejust 1601. I see homage watches as a way to own and enjoy a design that is far beyond my price range, for now. See, I own some of these homage watches never to wear them. They go on a watch stand on my shelf and act as a small materialistic reminder of why I'm working so hard. I don't know if there's an issue with that, but to each their own, as they say. Now that my opinion of homage watches is out of the way, we can now move on to the actual point of this video, my review of the Invicta 89290B. I'll be reviewing it as any other watch I would review, giving my honest opinion and fair criticism where necessary. So without any further ado, let the review begin. The Invicta 89290B is an all yellow gold plated variant within the Pro Diver family, probably Invicta's most famous, or maybe infamous, range of watches. It comes with a black dial, black 120 click bezel, gold hands and indices to match the case. At 3 o'clock you have the date with a Cyclops window which does a decent job of magnifying the date. A signed screw down crown with stated 200 meters of water resistancy. It survived the shower, but I have not tested any more than that, so dive at your own risk with this watch. Now, it is no secret the design is based on the awesome Rolex Submariner 116618LN, or more so the 16618LN, which is the one with an aluminium bezel. The aluminium variant is a watch you'll be looking to pay at least £14,000 in OK condition, and the modern version with a ceramic bezel is a £25,050 watch at retail. With that in mind, the Invicta has a retail of £230, but it can be found at a lot of places between £80 and £100. Now, is the Rolex a better watch? There's absolutely no doubt about that. The Invicta does not even come close. But when you think you can get 109 of these Invictas at retail price for the same price as the Rolex, it does get you thinking a little. The Invicta has a case size of 40mm, a thickness of 14, lug width of 20, and finally a lug to lug of 48. The movement inside is a super reliable Seiko NH35, which is a 24 jewel movement that beats at 21,600 beats per hour, and boasts both hacking and manual winding for such an affordable and popular movement. It has even been decorated by Invicta with their own yellow rotor, a nice little touch. Oh, and mine is running quite well at +4 seconds a day, as good as my Tudor currently. The bracelet is an all yellow gold bracelet to match the case, polished center links and brushed on the outside. Generic pressed metal clasp with a fold over and push pins in the links. We'll come back to the bracelet shortly. The overall design is nice, but that's to be expected when you have such a great looking watch to base everything off. The overall feel is not too bad either, but it does feel like an £80 watch on the wrist. Is that a bad thing? Well, only if you paid more than £80 it would be. There are a few reasons for this. Let's get into the main ones. A big annoyance for me is a huge Invicta slapped on the side of the case. If it isn't hard enough trying to pull off an all yellow gold Invicta, then make it 10 times harder by doing that. Thanks, Invicta. The bracelet, it just feels super tinny and hollow. The clasp shuts with not much resistance, and the hollow end links leave a bit to be desired. But in all honesty, those are the only main issues for me. Sure, most will say the fact is an Homage is an issue, but I purchased it knowing that. I wanted to see if I could comfortably wear an all yellow gold insane looking watch. And to be completely honest, I'm not sure I can, not in public anyway. But there are a few good points worth mentioning. First is not to do with the watch, but it's actually the box. If it wasn't for the blinding yellow mess of a colour, it would be awesome, but colour aside, it's a very well built and feels great. And the movement is just perfect value for money. It has all the bells and whistles of a movement worth a lot more, and most importantly, it's very accurate. And finally, the price. When all is considered and you look at the price, it is all justifiable in my mind. So if you want a Submariner Homage and don't want to waste a ton of money, which I wouldn't recommend, then just get one of these and be done with it. You may only wear it for a few weeks, maybe even a few months, and then it will migrate to a watch box to not be worn for a while. But for £80, can you really complain? As long as you can get a few good weeks, months, or maybe even a couple of years out of it, that's all you can ask for.